Hi, Abby here. Guess what I'm up to today? I'm going to be doing a soul journey into the heart of Teresa Caputo, and she is the Long Island medium. I think it would be a lot of fun to see what her soul has to share with us today, get to know her heart a little bit more, and meet her on a level that we may not have experienced through the media before. So I'm going to relax now and get connected. The first thing I experience is sound. And it doesn't sound like raindrops, although there's lots of golden discs that are falling to the ground. And it kind of makes me feel like I'm in a New Year's Eve celebration where all the streamers are coming down. And there's lots of golden discs, and they're all falling to the ground. And I'm hearing them, and they're just over and over and over and over. And there's like millions of them. There's like so many in here. It looks very pretty in here. However, there is an element of emptiness. And the emptiness is not necessarily felt. There's nobody here. There's literally nobody here. It's beautiful to look at. It's exciting, but there's nobody here to really enjoy this moment. It's white floor, white walls, white ceiling. There's something glossy and classy about it. And then there's just all these falling golden discs. I say, Teresa, what does this mean to you? She shows me that this is going to get complex, okay? There's a world that she has a connection with. And the world is pretty and put together, okay? And this world is sort of on a pedestal. And it's being held up by the arm of something. I don't know. Over here is very... it's difficult to see, okay? It's difficult to see because you wouldn't want to see it. And it's kind of an ugliness that is here. It's kind of a monster that is here. Everything is very quiet. I tell Teresa that she doesn't have to create a world that looks pretty in order to be beautiful. And this monster-esque looking ugly thing is not ugly at all, actually. It's who you truly are. And I will say that Teresa Caputo, this would be a reflection of, you ever meet somebody who's really beautiful, but they don't know how to feel that way on the inside, and that doesn't mean they're not a beautiful person. This here is an element of essence of something to work on, okay? And I'm talking to her about this, what would be defined as ugliness. It's interesting because this place here is still doing its thing. It's still white, glossy, looks like a New Year's Eve celebration. It's awesome. And it's on a pedestal. But this pedestal is kind of moving, and then there's this sort of like a monster-esque looking thing, and it's holding up this pedestal with one of its octopus-like legs. There's another octopus-like leg, and it's holding something else up, and it seems like there's many plates, many platters being held up by many arms, and they're disconnected from each other. So it feels like things could fall apart, actually. They're not very solidified. I tell her that I'm not here to, this isn't time for us to create any type of negative innuendos, all right? This is time for us to actually get to know the human, who you are in your heart, the human. We're human. We're all human. We all are vulnerable. We all have different sides of ourselves. I'm actually bringing all these parts of her together, and I'm grounding her, and I'm sending her a lot of love, and I'm helping her to feel earthiness and pulled down to the earth. I'm helping her to feel solidity, and I'm helping her to know that she is beautiful. There's more to this story. After creating this energy gift, I'm taken to another space, and there's another odd, it's like a mound. It's a mound. It looks like goo. It looks like the structure of an octopus head, and it's kind of a muddy looking. And it's sort of just here, and it's like acting like it's a butler or somebody who's a very fancy waiter and is here to take your order. And this space is also empty. It's just white floor, white walls, white ceiling. There's actually no emotional relationship with literally anything in this scene. In fact, it would be preferred that everything be white and glossy, because then it is clean, right? Then it has a glam or a sort of something that feels put together. Because if it's white and glossy, it's put together. If it has a scuff on it, that's not going to work. It needs to be polished. It needs to be polished. And I ask her again about this butler. And I ask her to see herself within this emanation, because everything that I see is also a reflection of herself. We all have stuff like this within us. Don't think that you're perfect, not even for a minute. So I'm asking her to merge with this and to tell me what this means to her. It takes her to what could be a lifestyle that kind of looks like a Back Hills, Alabama. It looks like a Back Hills country where you might find hillbillies, people who have a lot of ornamental objects on their lawn, and they live in a trailer, and they talk kind of kooky, and there's just sort of an attitude about them that just sort of like it speaks hillbilly. And she shows me that this is made out of dirt and soils, and it brings her to very raw roots, roots that are, this looks like a hillbilly thing. And she's talking about people that are a mess and people who are clean and put together. And she struggles with this. Is it okay for her to be a mess, for her to be a hillbilly, for her to be back into her roots, for her to be this? Is that okay for her? Or does she always need to be polished? Is this okay, she says. Is this okay? And I say, I would much rather see this hillbilly than this white floor, white walls. This bores me. This interests me. Hillbilly interests me. Hillbilly has more meaning and more energy and more value to it than all of the golden discs that nobody's actually enjoying in a perfectly white space. I tell her it's okay to be you. And one thing I know about the world today, we need to start showing ourselves. We need to start exposing who we truly are. And we don't need to be perfect people anymore. We're not to be polished and best face forward, because this is us working with lies. This is us working with ego. This is us working with the structure of society that says, you look like this, that is good. You look like this, that is bad. That is not the way the world is moving forward, because we just want to be ourselves. We're tired of trying to be good enough for some idea of what a good world should look like, when it's really imprisoning us. And we're creating fears of what it could be to just simply be ourselves. She's taking a deep breath. It's like she's been holding it in this whole time. She wants to just simply relax and let it all go. As in, relax. Her countenance, just wear a sweatshirt one day. Something like this. Be a little bit muddy. Be a little bit dirty. Be a little bit more back hills. Now have to be polished. She's actually super open, and she's okay with us both actually breaking this down. I will tell you, I feel so honored to actually go into her energy field today, because she really is trying her best to give the world a new vision of what spirituality can be. And you have to remember, how are all of us formed? How are all of us created? Identity-wise, presentation-wise, society, family, friends, worth, value. She wants to relax all of this. I feel like it could take her some time and a little getting used to. It would be an adjustment. But I think it would be a nice flavor for her, for the world, to see something true in her own personal presentation, I give her a hug and I say thank you so much. And thank you for showing me this vulnerable stuff. I don't want to put you in a bad light. I'm not doing this to expose ugliness as a bad thing. I'm not doing this to create ugly people, to expose ugly people. That's not what I'm doing here. I'm doing this to help people see the raw human. And I give her a hug. She actually is taking some time to process this experience inside herself. And that's all I have to share about that. Sometimes it's a little hard to articulate what I see, because I'm worried about the wrong ways people will take things. And I hope you can understand that that this journey and this exploration has all the best intentions, and is giving you a gift of seeing into the heart of someone that we are all familiar with. I've asked myself, if someone were to do a soul journey on myself and expose something about me, how would I feel about that? And I actually be totally cool with it. I want to see myself through the eyes of others, because I'll never truly know myself without everybody else, without all of you. And the reality is we are mirrors of each other. So I am a mirror to you, you are a mirror to me. And if I lived in a world all by myself, how would I ever really know myself? I need everybody to help me to see who I am and what I mean to myself and my own choices. So in saying all of this, I want to thank you all for watching, for your open-mindedness, for your kindness. If any of you are interested in connecting with me for a psychic session, you may do so by visiting me at my website at abbeynormalswisdomquest.com. Thank you all for watching. I wish you all a wonderful day.